Hello, everybody, and good morning. Thank you so much for tuning into the show yet again. I'm here to tell you guys that it is about time that you follow or subscribe to the show wherever you listen. I know y'all are out there listening and you're not subscribing and you're not following the show, and I don't like that kind of behavior. You guys know I'm tired of working these garbage jobs, wasting my time. The links are in the description of the show wherever you listen. All the links, all the social media links, all the different platforms. Wherever you listen, all I ask is to subscribe, to follow. Please, please, I'm begging you, subscribe, follow, and most importantly, enjoy today's episode. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for showing up again. Yes, we are still doing the show. Regardless of the move, things look different. There's no Simian behind me. He's up there on the wall, but the way this room is kind of situated, if I put it down lower where you guys could see it, there'd be a glare, and it'd be like a mirror. It'd be weird. And yes, look at this. I'm holding the microphone. How strange. I'm sitting on a couch. There's no table. Very, very different setup. Not what I'm used to. Not ideal either. However, this is my thing. This is my podcast. We're going to do it by any motherfucking means. I am getting used. I already did a guest episode that'll be coming out next week. On Wednesday. I know it's a bit of a surprise. I'm on Wednesday. On Thursday, I know it's a bit of a surprise to be here with just me on a Thursday. But you'll know why in a second. And but the thing that I'm going to have to get used to is knowing where this microphone, where I should put it. You know, because I was so used to having it real close. And after doing that guest episode, I was like, damn, there's moments where it's too loud, or it's like poof before I talk, like it's a lot. So I'm gonna have to play around with that. This room is still kind of a mess. The guest episode you guys will see next week. You'll see what I mean. The setup is very strange. It's very weird. This whole setup, this whole experience, these past couple months has been strange. It's been different, but I'm rolling with the punches, people. I got a new job, of course. This is. I'm working at Mohegan Sun at the sports book. So if you want your addictions fed by me, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there to serve you booze and fattening food while you spend all your money on a game, on chance. And I'll be there. I'll be there to help you. I'll be there to give you more alcohol so that you either wash down the pain of loss, or you celebrate the fire of winning, or most importantly, the third option is to fuel your addiction. That's what I'm there for, to fuel the pain that you will cause the people that love you later on. If I can be an influence in that, then that just helps me sleep well at night. Now, to the reason why it is just me here on a Thursday. First off, this will probably be happening a little more often than usual. I am thinking of extending the time that I'm on here. Normally I do, my solo episodes are a half hour. I'm thinking maybe we'll extend that. Maybe it'll be an hour or 45 minutes or something like that of me coming on here and fucking around. Especially with... a lot of what I'm doing now is meeting people and networking and trying to get future guests, people that I think are cool, whatever, trying to get future guests on, as well as still reaching out to professors and that type of thing. And also taking advantage of when my friends come to visit me and in hopes that we can put together a good archive of friend episodes as well. Because, like I said, this is all different. I'm in a different place, not that far from Rhode Island. I'm only in New London, Connecticut, 20 minutes from Rhode Island, an hour from where I grew up in Providence. But it is different. It's a different environment, different place. It's been beneficial so far. I, of course, miss Caroline the most, but she knows that, and I know she misses me as well, and we love the fuck out of each other. So we're gonna make it happen. Now, I put down the first reason as to why it's just me. And we're going to experiment with it. We're going to see if I can go longer, if I can do it twice a week, just me. Again, guests are going to be a very prevalent and prominent part of the show. But when I can't get guests, for one reason or another, I am going to come on here alone because I still have an obligation to get these shows, these episodes out. However, I am thinking of extending my solo episodes to a full hour. I'm thinking about it. We're going to see what happens when I do next Monday's episode, and we're going to see how I feel, see what I can do. It might have to be a little more time spent in preparation, finding some shit to really talk about and satirize and whatever the fuck else I want to do. The second reason, as you all know, it is the second week of April, and part of the tradition of this show is going over my goals for the year. And every quarter I check in hopes, not that you listen, but in hopes that you're doing something similar. So it is our pretty much the end of the first quarter, right? March is over. It's the beginning of the second quarter. And we are going to rock and roll. And I'm interested to even look back at these because from the beginning of the year until now has been incredibly hectic. A lot of changes, a lot of different things being thrown around. And I haven't really gotten a chance to really review this list until today. And this is me. This is going to be awesome because it's a little more organic than usual when I do these goal reviews. So because of the fact that I wasn't really focusing on them, they're in the back of my head. I got some of them, but it's going to be different. So without further ado, let me shut the fuck up. Well, I can't shut the fuck up. This is my show. Here's our list. Seven things. Bang. Right here. You guys probably can't see it. I'm much further away now. It don't matter. I'm going to read them to you anyway. Let's shoot a thumbnail real quick. Bing. Ha. Okay. 2022 goals. First one, grow Smoking Simian social media. Instagram, 1,000 followers. Twitter, 100 followers. YouTube, 100 subs. How? Post, and post again. Throughout the day. 5 to 7 stories per day on IG. 1 to 2 posts per day. 5 tweets per day. Hashtags. So what does it say? I'm sorry, I can barely read. Link in stories? Oh, hide in stories. Ha ha ha. So this is all still part of the how over here. Hide in stories, comment section, comment on posts of hashtags you use. And then I drew an arrow that says worst shit. Have content to post. Be creative. YouTube short series, ? And reels, stories, and main feed. Okay. So very long-winded explanation of that because this year I did write how underneath. And so I have been, first of all, let me start off by saying I'm not even halfway there to 1,000 IG followers. Not even halfway there. However, I did start a new Instagram, which is drawing traffic between the two. My the show's Instagram and my comedy Instagram, my personal Instagram, they're kind of drawing traffic between the two, and there has been a bit of an increase. I wrote down somewhere what I started with at the beginning of the year. I don't know where the fuck it is, but whatever. Maybe I should have grabbed it, right? Maybe I should have grabbed it on the day we're going over our goals, but whatever. Twitter, very far from 100. YouTube, I'm about halfway there. 100 subs by the end of the year, I think, is very doable. I think all this is doable. However, I haven't paid enough attention to the how. I haven't been posting nearly as much as I had set out to do. Now, does that mean I can't? I don't know. I haven't tried yet. Realistically, I haven't tried yet. It's been a hectic few months, like I mentioned earlier. Again, maybe a bit of an excuse, but nonetheless, I had to figure out where the fuck I was going to live, guys. Cut me a little bit of slack, man. I had to figure out where I was going to even do this show. I had to figure out how I was going to even do this show. So that kind of put a damper on this whole list, more or less, but specifically that first one, because that first one is super important. The first two are majorly important. Majorly. So, again, I don't know if I have any revisions for this. Maybe drop down on posts, but I really haven't tried. I haven't tried to post I've posted more. I've definitely posted more. But I haven't really revisited this. So I'm going to have to put it somewhere that I look at every day. That's what I tell you guys. That's what people tell you, not just me. Everyone, visualization is a legitimate thing, right? I mean, it can be bullshit, but it is a legitimate thing. And if it's in front of you, it makes the most sense. So I need to put it somewhere where I'm going to see it almost every day. Pretty much every day. You know, I mean, I'm looking right here. I could put it right in front of me. This is where I sleep on this fucking couch right now. So, definitely going to do a little more trial with this. I don't want to edit anything yet. I just need to get into the habit of filming and getting content all the time. So, I don't know if I have an edit for that. We are far from our goal, but that's why we do this, right? I always say aim for the motherfucking stars. 1,000 IG followers in a year when I'm only at 4 change. Tough. Very tough. And that 4 change took my entire life. You know, I mean, it's funny because now I am actively trying to grow my social media. And it's growing, but very slow. Right? And that's just what it is. But you'd think that the extra effort would make it grow faster than the, 10 years that I've had that Instagram, you know? Because that's, my Instagram for the Smoking Simian was initially my personal Instagram, which is the only one I've ever had since I ever made it, if I remember correctly. Well, except for that bullshit one that I made for the financial advising. But that took up until now to get to 400. And that's mostly people that I know. Now you'd think with the extra oomph, the extra posting, like I post to my feed, the Smoking Simian feed, at least twice a week. You know, because I do 2 episodes and I have, videos. Couldn't think of the goddamn word. I have videos I put on Instagram, Reels and whatever else. Then I post on my other page maybe once a week. So those numbers are low. And it may not really be the biggest increase in output that I need to see a substantial bit of growth with my social media pages. So this how list, I'm really going to try and focus on. I am, and we're going to see if it's too much, if it's too less, if I can't keep up with it. We're going to see next quarter. Next, number 2, make comedy habitual. Now this is one of those ones where if I remember correctly, when I made this list, I had to define to myself, hey, this is the year that you establish it. Because I don't know if you remember when I made my last list, I crossed a lot of stuff off with things that, things like be a better person, be a better brother, travel, learn more about yourself. That shit that you should always be doing all the time. It's not like, all right, I've traveled enough, no more. All right, I'm good at being a boyfriend, no more. I'm good at being a son, no more. You know, that's like, those are goals that should be transcendent throughout your life. Hopefully, right? However, this second one, incredibly important to me, and this is the year that I'm establishing it. Making comedy habitual. Develop skills through reps and consistency. Live like a comic. I put in quotes. How? 12 to 16 open mics per month. Try to keep track. Write! Exclamation point. New and revise old. And then meet other comics. This one, I can tell you guys, I have been working diligently on. This goal, throughout, like I said, these past few months, rough time, first quarter of the year, always happens to me. First quarter of the year, some shit, as soon as it's the new year, some shit happens. I got to pay money. I dented my car in January. Not this past January, but whenever I did do it, however many years ago, it was in January. It's the new year. Bang. Fucking crashed my car. Didn't have to pay out anything, but still, what the fuck. Beginning of the year, always a little tough for me. However, I have very much tried to make this happen. Make this a habit. And now I'm at the point where it's very much a part of me. It is very much a part of me. And I'm happy to say that I'm having as much success with this goal as I am at the beginning of the year. Now, of course, there's always things to revise, or maybe not revise, but things to look at and possibly correct. So on here, yes, I have been doing 3 to 4 mics a week, pretty consistently. I'd like to think. Keeping track, I haven't, but I have definitely been doing 3 to 4 mics a week. Writing. Now, writing is something I should be doing every day, and I'm not. That's the one part of this that I'm not doing. And that's where a correction can be made. Not a correction to the rule or a correction to the strategy of making this goal happen, but a correction in myself, in the fact that, hey, I should, I should be writing. I should be trying to write every day. So that one, that's going to be a big focus. I'm going to circle that. I'm going to circle it, and I'm going to write big focus. And then the next one, meet other comics. I've been doing that. I've been putting myself out there a little bit. At the beginning of comedy, I was like, damn, this is another case of me having a hard time assimilating to the culture of whatever it is that I'm doing. Allowing myself to really be immersed and be a part of what everybody's doing, the common goal that everyone is achieving. And that was always something that was always tough for me. Whether it be in friend groups or whether it be in, martial arts gyms or school, places where I would learn things. Work, right? Workplaces. It's been tough to allow myself to really become one with the culture, I guess. Become part of the thing. It was always the thing and then me to the side. No, I don't want to hang out. No, I don't want to meet people. No, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do that. But comedy has opened that up for me. Comedy has really allowed me to reach out because I know how important it is. We need each other. You never know who's going to get big. You never know who's going to possibly get you a gig here that'll get you seen or get you a gig there or whatever. You never know. It might be your first bit of paid work, or it could just be paid work in general. It's hard to get paid as a comic. If you connect with enough people and meet enough people, eventually they're going to have a show for you. That's the way it is. That's the way I've seen it kind of grow into things. So meeting other comics, incredibly important. Incredibly important. And I mean, I'm sure it's important for all fields. It just took this one to show it to me, or to give me the... what's the word? Give me the green light, I guess, to say, hey, this is where you need to do it. This is important. Plus, everyone's pretty fucking cool. Comics are weird, but they're pretty cool too. You can fuck around with them. So number 2, I'm happy with my progress with that. Make comedy habitual. It's happening. And if I keep on this track, when I keep on this track, by the end of the year, I'm gonna be far better at the craft, and it's gonna be even more of a part of my life, I'm thinking. So number 2, we're doing good. Number 3, this one is obsolete. This one I can pretty much get rid of. Because again, I made this list under the assumption, I'll tell you what it is in a minute, under the assumption that I was going to stay in Providence for another year before I moved. So this one says, have $15,000 in the bank to prep for move to New York. Well, here's the good news. I have more than that in the bank, which is nice, right? I've been doing well with my money amidst all this craziness. But it, like I said, guys, a big part of why I do this is to revise. Goals change. You need contingency plans. And I mean, this isn't like something went wrong, but it forced me to plan something that I never thought I would have to. Now I need to get out of this because for whatever reason, I wasn't going to go to D.C. And by the time I realized that, well, that was my initial point. Let me give you guys a little bit of my thinking, all right? Caroline says she's going to move to D.C. It's her thing. Awesome. I would never hold her back from that. She obviously wants me to go. My plan was in a year, me and her move to New York. She said she liked that idea, maybe. right? Who knows? Anything can happen, clearly. Neither of us foresaw her moving to DC this year. Neither of us. So that forced me to switch my plan. I need to get to New York. If I'm not going to go with her, I'm going to go to New York, right? We're both going to try and live our dreams out. We both agreed on it. We're going to do long distance. We're going to make it happen. We love the fuck out of each other, right? When I realized I couldn't make it to New York because to get an apartment, you need a job. To get a job, you need an apartment. The only way I'm going to get there is to get a job first or a proof of income first and then get a place. All right. It took me a couple weeks for me to get that in my head, right? To accept it. By that point, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go. In my mind, I was like, I think I'm just going to go to DC. If I can't get somewhere close to New York, whether it's Stamford, Connecticut, or somewhere in Jersey or wherever, I might as well just go to DC. Because I don't want, the option was not to stay in Providence. Not to stay in Providence, and even more so, not to move back home. That's a back step for me. I love my freedom. Once you move out, you don't want to move back home. That's what it is, unless you absolutely have to. And I didn't think I absolutely had to. So, by the time I was like, I want to go to DC, I never verbalized this to her, but she had mentioned to me that she got a studio. I wouldn't be able to move there. The landlord lives in the building. Would have been tough. So now I'm in a rock and a hard place. I can't move to New York. Can't stay in Providence. I got to go somewhere and quick. So we end up here. New London, Connecticut. I had no contingency plan. I had to make one up on the fly. Mainly because it wasn't something I saw happening. That's what happens. We get caught off guard. It's the punch you don't see coming that knocks you out. So that being said, number 3 is something that I can pretty much cross off this list because I don't know if in a year from now I'm going to move to New York. Maybe Caroline and I get back together somewhere in the middle. Maybe she comes here. Maybe I go there. It's all up in the air, which is tough. That's some of the toughest shit in life. So it's hard to plan for some stuff like that. But if you are going to plan, make a backup plan. Make another plan. You know, it's part of it. It's part of planning as a whole. Did I say planning enough? Plan. So number 3 crossed off the list. That leaves us with 6. 6 goals, which is good, right? We're knocking some off the list. Number 4, read all books in possession before buying more. How? Always keep one with you. All right. You guys know I'm on a reading kick. I'm trying to make reading habitual as well. I think I got that last year. I think I was able to make it possible. I read 9 books last year, which is more than I've read up until that point since I've been alive. No. It's more than I've probably read ever in a year, realistically. Maybe since I was a baby or a fucking little kid reading quick book. You know what I'm saying? But to read novels, I've only ever... Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. I've never read that many novels in a year. You know, and I was never even close. But for whatever reason, I wanted to start reading. And just a reminder, guys, just a reminder. There's never a perfect time, number 1. Number 2, you can pick something up whenever the fuck you want. You can do something you want whenever. Like, it doesn't matter, right? You could be 70, and if you want to... start learning karate for the rest of your life, then fuck it. If you're able to do it mentally and physically, then who cares? You know what I'm saying? You can literally pick something up whenever you want, as long as you have the time and the desire to get better at it and to make it a part of your life. You can do whatever you want. You know, I mean, what are relationships? Right? Relationships are, it's. I'm kind of thinking about romantic relationships. That immediately becomes a part of your life, right? It's not always expected. It's not always expected you're going to be in a relationship with that person. So it's the same thing with having a relationship with a hobby or a skill or anything. So this year I want to read all my fucking books, right? And I have a lot. Christ, I'm looking at it and it's brutal. There's thousands and thousands of pages that I'm looking at over there. However, I thought this year I was going to start off by banging out Democracy in America. That was until I opened the motherfucker. That book is 930 pages. It was written by a Frenchman in 1835, and it has been translated, and it's a phenomenal book. Phenomenal book. And I'm going to get back to it at some point, but I had to put it down. I had been at my wit's end with it. It was starting to get a little redundant, pretty boring. The wording, it's tough, and the chapters are heavy chapters, like thick chapters. So the book is monstrous. I'm gonna get back to it, but I had to put it down. It was starting to be a detriment to this goal. Realistically, I wasn't feeling like reading. It was tough. It was becoming a chore. And don't get me wrong, I loved the book at the beginning. I wanted to read it, But once I got to like 350, I was like, all right, let's start something new. And today, I'll probably finish the book that I've been reading for maybe a month, maybe probably less. I mean, it's a small book. Fahrenheit 451, which I would recommend to everybody. I mean, what phenomenal foresight Ray Bradbury had. Not to go off on a tangent about books, but that's what this goal is about. What phenomenal foresight he had. I mean, for those of you who aren't familiar with the book, I recommend everybody read it, especially in times like this where censorship and the word misinformation and all this stuff is being thrown around pretty loosely, right? There's a real loose definition on the term misinformation. And maybe I'll talk about this on Monday because we had a real big debate in the group chat. The big group chat that I'm in with, all the people that have been on this motherfucking show, pretty much. Anyway, the book is about a dystopian time far in the future, not super far from us at this point, because this book was written in the 1950s, where people don't question anything at all. Nobody questions anything. They're all consumed by technology, very much consumed by technology. All feelings are artificial. People are watching. People are in the parlor, right? That's what this room is called in the book, the parlor. And on the walls, there's big screens, and people watch. They're consumed by what's on the screen, and what's on the screen is basically there's soap operas that are families, right? It's people doing what normal families do, sitting and talking, getting in arguments, but it's based very, very loosely in reality in the sense that there's no substance to it. It's just meant for the person sitting there to be immersed in it and to feel a certain way without actually experiencing what life is. And a lot of it, another point in the book that was incredibly interesting was that everybody wants to be happy. Nobody wants to ever be in a place where they have to think about bad things in the world. And that desire in this dystopian world in Fahrenheit 451 got so strong that the world is based on everyone, or at least, sorry, I keep digressing. The world is based on keeping everyone happy and making sure no one questions anything. Making sure none of the bad shit is going on in the world. The news is always good stuff. Nobody's ever upset. Nobody's ever offended. But here's the thing. That's part of living. That's part of life. You're not happy all the time. You're a manic if you're happy all the time. That doesn't sound good. I mean, it's something that doesn't exist, right? Complete happiness always. It's impossible. Which is why this book is so interesting, especially in a time like this, where there's immense outrage over everything, all the time. Some of it for good reason. Don't get me wrong. Some of it for phenomenal fucking reason. But some of it is much. Words, right? Words have historically been subject to weird rules and laws behind them. There's certain words you can say, certain ones you can't, especially the bigger platform you have. So in this world, where the title comes from, firemen, as we know them, are people who put out fires. Firemen in this book are people who burn books because it is illegal to read books. It is illegal to question. It is illegal to learn anything that isn't taught to you. The world is run by mechanics and machines, and humans are just vessels. Humans are just a cog in that machine in this book. And it's a cautionary tale, man. It is very much a cautionary tale, something that I recommend everybody read at some point. Back to the goal. This will be my first book that I finish this year. I'm probably going to finish it today on the train ride over to New Haven. I got a spot, do some comedy. But I am excited to start the new one. And that goal, it's going to be like the carrot in front of the bunny on the treadmill. So that's one of the ones that is another high shooting one, but I'm going to very much try my best to attain it. Next, 5. Compete in 5 bike races. Ooh, forgot about this one. I'm sorry, 5. Why did I say that? Compete in bike races, 2 to 3. I just made that up, 5. Something to train for, consistency, how? Ride, what does it say? Oh, ride often. I thought it said often. Ride often, 2 to 3 times a week. Keep up on racing events. This one, very doable. The weather's starting to get nice again. I got my bike staring at me right here. I'm in Connecticut. There's a lot of new places I can explore, right, with the bike. Not only riding it around, but going to places to ride, which is something I look very much forward to. And, competing. Competition is great. Competition is phenomenal. A lot of us lose the fun of competition because it's put in places where it's a lot more stressful. At work, there's competition all the time. Not all the time, but you know what the fuck I'm saying. At work, competition. You want to make more money than that motherfucker, you got to do better. In school, for people who are in school, competition. You want to do the best in your class. You want to do really well so that you can end up somewhere good. But here's the thing. Competition is meant to be fun. Right? I shouldn't say that because realistically, competition is a natural human thing, or a natural animal thing, is what I should say. It's a natural, and it's built in animals to compete. That's why there's mating. That's why there's alpha male animals. Not just humans, but in the fucking animal kingdom. So competition actually breeds results, right? It breeds results, and it breeds innovation. So competition in a business sense, now we're getting somewhere else, where that it forces people to innovate. That's why having a free market like we do in America is what bred a monstrous financial and capitalistic approach. So, sure, maybe competition in its most natural sense, in its rawest form, not fun. Not meant to be fun. That's why they do it in business places. That's why they do it in places of work. Not meant to be fun. However, as humans, we grow up doing sports, friendly competition, meant to be friendly competition until you get real serious about it. And I don't know if it gets more friendly than bike races, right? I'm talking about casual ones. It's just like marathons. There's people who are out there really, they want to beat their time. They want to win they want to be the first one done, that type of thing. But then there's people who go out there just to do it. And that's how I'm looking at this. It is a healthy form of competition. It's an opportunity to do your best. How about that? It is an opportunity to really do your best at something that is outside of your workplace. Then you get people who love their work. Awesome. That's great. But something just completely disconnected, something that is work but not a job. How about that? Work that is meaningful to the person, that is still meaningful to the person that loves their job, but is maybe a little more fun because there's not so much tied to it. There's not so much responsibility, and money isn't necessarily tied to it. It's strictly for the love of doing it. Yes, you love your job, but you also do it because you have a responsibility to your family. You got the promotion, now you have a responsibility to the people you manage or your coworkers. You have a monetary responsibilities, rent and bills and all that shit. So you can love your work, But there's part of it that is still drawn and connected to work. So to be able to compete in a bike race for me would be a lot of fun. It's just like being able to do a jiu-jitsu tournament or something. So that one is next. It's another one next quarter. We're going to see a little bit more movement, a little bit more attempt at making it happen. So again, the cold is a bitch. Haven't been riding much. Hectic month. Yada, 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 yada. However, I did ride. I have ridden. I went with John. John Larkin. We went to the Blackstone Path, which was nice, and we only rode for about an hour. But hey, it was better than motherfucking, especially at that time. I'm back in the gym, guys, so it's nice. Which brings us to the sixth goal that I have on here. Again, another establishing one, like the second one. Ingrain the habit of doing hard shit. Good for mind, body, and soul. Increase productivity and ability. How? Train as often as possible, but train smart. Sauna, bike, regiment. Eating correctly. Keep to schedule. Now, this is one that I have just recently, unknowingly, again, I haven't looked at this list in a while. I have just recently been able to work on this again. One of the benefits of working at Mohegan Sun, which is a place I recommend people go and get a fucking job. I mean, Christ, I'm only there as a means to an end. I'm a comic. I'm a podcast host. I'm not a server. I am for money, but realistically, as a person, I'm not that. However, I get a gym. I get a gym membership, and it's cheap. It's like $12 a month. It's a better gym than any $12 a month gym that you can find, I would assume. Right? Maybe Workout World is pretty good, some of them, but I mean, I was going to go to Planet Fitness if this wasn't the case, and that's like $10 a month. So, ingrain the habit of doing hard shit. Yes, I am back in the gym, and oddly enough, my back is feeling good. You know why? Because I'm moving. I spent a long time without movement. Just and eating very incorrectly. Just living like a gavone. Living like a motherfucking animal. You know, I mean, eating whatever I want. Only recently, I went shopping yesterday, and only recently have I been trying to stick to paying attention to what I eat, how I eat, and my relationship with eating. Because for a while, it got kind of skewed. It was like, I can eat whatever the fuck I want, whatever I want, because I'm not training. Fuck it. I'm not training. And it didn't feel good. It didn't feel great. So eating correctly, or eating better at least. Now, I'm going to New Haven tonight. I'm getting pizza. Like, I got to try the New Haven pizza. Dave Portnoy says it's the shit. I got to give it a go. I haven't tried it. So I have to give it a try. However, I mean, I got a bag of vegetables that I've been cooking through. I got eggs. I got all kind of good food. I'm trying to eat very much an animal-based diet, aside from the vegetables. But I have a lot of animal products. I mean, eggs, sausage, bacon. I got pork ribs still from fucking my last thing from Butcher Box. I got a beef heart. I'm excited to eat that. I haven't had beef heart in a while, and the way I've had it is pretty fucking good. I know you guys think I'm an animal, but I think it's going to be good. And if it sucks, I'll throw it the fuck out and never order it again. I don't care. But I got chicken thighs. I'm able to cook in here. This is great. You know what I'm saying? This is all good stuff. So, plus, as much as I love Caroline, she is a chef, and she cooks very, very well. But she also drives me to indulge. She does. And I love her for that. Because before that, I had a problem with indulging. And you shouldn't have a problem with indulging. You should be healthy indulging. You know, I got to a point where I was too indulgent. I was doing too much. And it's important to recognize that. And I'm not saying that she does that. You know, she's also very good at controlling herself. But when we're together, we want to go out to eat. And when we go out to eat, we want to get everything. We want to try the apps. We want to try each other's meals. We want to get as much. We want to get the full experience, man. That's what the fuck we're there for. That's why you see people before and after they get married. Motherfuckers get chubby. But it's life. It happens. But I remember in the back of my mind, it's like, hey, I remember when I was younger, I didn't want to be the older guy who's out of shape and can't do anything. I want to take advantage of this vessel that I'm in for as long as I possibly can. And part of that is being able to do fun shit like drinking and smoking and that type of stuff that I find enjoyable. Fuck it. I'm going to say it. I find it fucking enjoyable. And you can't do that if you're not healthy. You're going to die too soon, you know? So this started as a good thing, and now it's gone into the I stay healthy so I can do drugs. No. It's 80% of the time I want to be healthy. 80% of the time I want to be able to take advantage of my body. The other 20%, I want to be able to do what the fuck I want with it. That's the thing, right? Do what I want with it, which may involve a bit of danger, right? Whether it's doing something physically dangerous or doing something that's dangerous for my health. Well, I mean, I guess it's the same thing. Maybe physically dangerous, I was thinking like, I don't know. I want to be able to go hiking when I'm old, but I also want to be able to drink whiskey when I'm old. You know, I want to be able to smoke a cigar when I'm old. I want to be able to do all that shit. That's part of having control over your body. That you're in a space, you're in a place with yourself, that you live comfortably, you feel good. But there are times where you can go off the rails. You can eat the fucking cheesecake. You can go bananas. I want that in my life, and that's where I was at one point when I was younger. And now it's all about getting to the next level. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the new guy, better. You know. And this habit is something that is started very, very recently. Train as often as possible. I plan on training 5 days a week if I can. Fuck it. You know, what else do I have to do? I'm not working that often. I do comedy at night. So, you know, and then, of course, the bike. There's no sauna, unfortunately, but I will have a regimen. I'll be eating correctly, and I'll be keeping to my schedule. So I already made a schedule keeping habitual last year. I got my calendar hung up right on the wall over there. I have my planner in my bag that I haven't looked at in a while. But still, very much more. I schedule things and keep to a schedule more so now than I ever have. Probably because I have more things going on that I have to worry about myself. I don't have other people I don't have my classes scheduled for me, and I don't have to necessarily be at a place or else I get reprimanded somehow. It's more about me keeping a schedule, me doing the podcast, me going to the open mic. So yeah, this one I'm excited for. I'm excited to see what happens with all of these, but this one very much so because it's starting now and it's recency bias. So I'm in my gym clothes. I came from the gym, came here, ate, and then sat down and did this shit with you guys. Last one, number 7, which is number 6, but you know, whatever. Go to Montana with Caroline. How? Plan and save, commit. This one is more important than ever because of the time that we are spending apart. You know, not to get super sentimental and gushy with you guys, but it's most important. We both want to go. Her schedule is tough. She has so many. My shit's flexible. Again, most of my life is built around what I plan for myself. You know, it's not. I have no ties to. I have very little ties to where I have to be, or else I'll get reprimanded. I'll lose my job. All this, all that. So, a lot of it is tied to me. For her, she has a job, a demanding job. She's a sous chef in a restaurant in D.C., Capitol Hill. A demanding fucking place that is trying to get a Michelin star. She is doing some rock star shit. So I understand. If this one doesn't happen, I get it, you know. But we've talked about it. We've spoken about it. And we want to make it happen, you know. And maybe the end of the summer. That's what we had agreed on. It's far from now. Hopefully it's enough time for her to situate her scheduling when it comes to getting days off. I'd love to spend 10 days out there. You know, that would be great. And I think we both deserve it. I think it'd be great for us to go. New place. She's been. I've never been. But we'll go to a new place. I mean, you guys know I fucking want to go to Montana. Bad. Really bad. I mean, I want to go with her because it's what we've spoken about. And I would prefer to go with her. But, you know, if by some crazy chance I get to go on my own, that'd be cool too. You know, I mean, that would be cool too. I want to share the experience with her, but it would be cool. Maybe, hey, fuck it. Maybe I go first and then we go next year together. So I have an idea, you know. But that one, plan and save. Plan and save and then commit to it. So I think the latest we could commit to this is like, June maybe? The beginning of June, which isn't far from now. It's April. April, May, June, motherfuckers. 2 full months away. So we got to figure it out. I got to bring it back up to her, see if she's down for it, and we'll see. And guys, that concludes our goal list, our 2022 goal list. We knocked one off. We got a couple that we're making strides with. We got a couple that we forgot about. And next time we'll have more data, right? We'll have more data because realistically, I didn't have much time to focus on these. And it's going to be hung up. It's going to be hung up right in front of me. Once I shut this shit off, it is going to be right the fuck in front of me. Not a ton of revisions, not a ton of stuff to add to this. Because again, the most important one at the top that has the most how bullets, I haven't really tried. So if there's going to be any correction or any revision, it's probably going to be on that one. Most likely. Because some of these other ones are very much doable. That one is going to take some serious effort, which I haven't put in yet. So, guys, you got to be honest with yourself. I'm being honest with myself in front of all of you, right? I'm putting it all on the fucking table with you guys. So, this helps me. I don't know if it helps you. This whole show helps me, guys. It very much does. It gives me a sense of purpose. It gives me a reason, I don't want to say reason to live. It's not that serious, but it gives me an outlet. It gives me time to talk to you guys. It helps me work my muscle, which is my voice, my speaking, my comedic prowess, right? All that shit gets worked out on here. So I'm going to talk to you guys very soon. Take a look at your own lists if you made them. Take a look at them. It's the quarter. First quarter's over. So get the fuck down with it. Check it the fuck out. And that's it for today's episode, guys. Thank you. How long we got? Wow, just under an hour. All right. I'd be happy with this. I'd probably want to see the full hour. I don't know if I'll get to it today. I went, oh, fuck, it's already 2:30. God damn. All right, we got to wrap this motherfucker. I got to train in an hour. It's a 5-minute walk. But either way, I don't know the station. I don't know the area. I'm going to talk to y'all soon on Monday. We'll see. Maybe we'll go the full hour on Monday. We're going to have some fun with this shit, people. We're going to have some fun. That's the goal. Follow the show wherever you listen. Subscribe, like, do the whole 9. That's it, motherfuckers. Peace.